All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. All right, guys, so Bitcoin just continues to grind up slowly and more corrective looking in this ascending channel here. Now, we did drop to the bottom of the channel earlier today. We found support there at the bottom of the channel, and we are making a small push up now. It was also our local golden pocket or I'd say JC pocket area where we do have the golden pocket 786. So we did bounce from that golden pocket 786 area at the bottom of the channel, and now we are making a small push to the upside today. But overall, nothing special happening today on the charts. If we look at our volume profile, and we're going to go ahead and pull that volume profile from the time that we lost this anchored VWAP. This light blue line here is the anchored VWAP from the 49K area, which is a very key anchored VWAP. So if we go ahead and grab that volume profile, we can look at this. Now, one thing I want you to notice here is our volume levels did shift a little bit on this on this volume profile. You can see that our value area high is now a bit higher than it was. Remember, the value area high was down in this area where my cursor is, where this weekend price action was actually above the value area high, and it was trying to backtest and hold it as support. Now that we've had some more price action in the upper part of this range, our value area high has shifted above us, and you can see that is actually where we are rejecting. Just in the past couple hours here, we pumped up to the value area high, and we are seeing another rejection from this value area high. As far as local price action to the downside, local support, if we are going to continue this trend inside of this ascending channel, then we could do our Fibonacci pull from the last lows of earlier today when we bounced from that low up to our highs, and you can see that our golden pocket is resting right on the point of control of this range. This is an area where we could find support here and then continue to make our way to the upside. One of the reasons why I think we still have a little bit more room to the upside to go, well, there's a couple reasons. One of them, the liquidity that's above us. We do have two major liquidity pools just above us here. This liquidity is almost acting as a magnet to pull Bitcoin up to these prices. So you can see we have some liquidity that's ending around 86K, and then we have that liquidity that ends around 88K, which both happen to be key levels on the charts that we are watching. So if we see a bounce from this area, we can continue up. Also, if we look at our Fibonacci pull from the highs that were made on Friday down to our weekend lows, and we go to our 886 here, we did come up on this little short squeeze here. We rejected from the channel midline, but we also rejected in that 886 area. Now, because we hit this 886 in this area here, it does give us a higher probability to come take these highs here of the Friday highs. So I am expecting Bitcoin to continue this slow grind, come up. We have a couple liquidity levels. They're semi-equal liquidity levels, not quite, but we have this liquidity here at 85.3, and then we have the liquidity just below that of that little short squeeze into the midline at 85.1, we'll say. I would expect both of these probably to get taken together, to be honest with you. All right. Now, if we do break this volume profile to the upside, we still do need to worry about or keep in mind that we do have a golden pocket in between our major resistance purple box that's up here between 88 and 88.6. If we do our Fibonacci pull from the highs of this wave B correction to the lows of wave C, we go ahead and turn on our golden pocket. We do have that golden pocket that is coming in here around 86.6 to 87.1, 125. You can see that it also would be in pretty nice confluence with that midline. If we do bounce from the bottom of the midline again, work our way up to this area, it would be in nice confluence with the channel midline, but also it is in the point of control. Let's go ahead and grab our prior range, this guy here, and you can see our point of control of that range is also at this golden pocket area. So I don't have this one marked out as a box just because I think this guy up here is a little bit better for resistance, but I want you to be aware that we could definitely reject from this area and not quite make it up here. I'm leaning towards making it up here because of the liquidity that is into this area here. We do have that liquidity up to 88K in this heat map here. 88K, it actually coming up to, like 88.2 would sweep all of it. And that is in this box of resistance up here. Now, this box of resistance, the pitchfork midline is getting a little bit higher than the box because of the time that's elapsing. But we do have the golden, a bigger golden pocket up there. That golden pocket is from the highs of this Donald Trump, fiasco tweet thing that happened, all the way down to our C correction lows down here. And then we have a naked daily point of control, a naked weekly point of control, and it's our ABC correction target. Not so much looking at that anymore. We were looking at this as a possible this being the A wave here, all the way up to these highs, this being a B wave, and then our C wave bringing us up into this box at the 1-to-1 target. But with what we've seen over the weekend, kind of this grind down and sideways here, I don't like it as much anymore. I don't like it as much as an ABC correction to the upside. Of course, we can still look at this as a complex correction, knowing that a complex correction is just a series of multiple three-wave corrections, smaller three-wave corrections in a bigger correction to the upside, and we have that all over the place in here. Yes, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, if we zoom out onto the daily chart, let's talk about this anchored VWAP from the 49K lows. This anchored VWAP was pulled from a very key low down here at 49K, the end of our big weekly impulse wave 4 correction. That range that lasted 7 months in 2024. And for a while here, let me clean up this chart. All right, for a while, we were holding it as support on the daily. You can see all in this area. I've talked about this in prior videos. We were holding it as support. Yes, we were seeing wicks past it to other key support levels, but overall, it was holding as a support. When we lost it to the downside, for the past week or so, we've really been chopping around right at it, but having some trouble truly reclaiming this anchored VWAP and flipping it back to support. Well, now today with our daily green candle here, we are above that anchored VWAP, and will we close, if we close our daily candle above that anchored VWAP, that does give us a little sign that maybe we can keep pushing a little bit higher on this corrective move to our box of resistance up here. But I did a live stream earlier today in the Jason's VIP Discord, and I talked about overall the downtrend is still in. We have lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So do we just come up to our golden pocket to make another lower high and continue this distribution to the downside, continue this larger downtrend to the downside? If we look at our money flow and market cipher B down here, it does look like, yes, I know we were seeing the bull divs between these two lows here. We have the higher lows in the momentum waves, the lower lows in the price action, giving us the confirmed bull div on the daily. But a money flow looks pretty bad still. Money flow still coming out here. And it even looks like this momentum wave is trying to roll over here. Roll over, create one more higher low. Higher low. See a third drive of divs. If we could do something like that, we would see a third drive of bull divs. And then we could probably make a bigger move to the upside. So we just watch Bitcoin. We play the range until it breaks. We're in this small range for now. We play this range until it breaks. I'm watching that ascending channel to make sure if that ascending channel does break down, I do expect a little bit bigger of a push down into our support levels. Now, below that ascending channel, let's go ahead and turn that ascending channel on. If we break and do not hold our very local support at the base of the channel, and it would also be our local golden pocket in this area here, if we start breaking the channel to the downside, I do expect us to at least come down to our fresh weekly level. We have a fresh weekly at 80.7, and then we also have a naked daily point of control around 80.5. So between 80.7 to 80.5 is the first area of support I would be looking for. And if that doesn't hold, I do think we could come down a little bit lower here. Let's go ahead and pull that range again here. We do have the value area low of this range right about the these lows here. So we could see like a liquidity grab of these lows and overall close our hourly candle at or above the value area low and just continue to trade in this range. Reject from value area high. If we break our point of control, we can expect a move down to the value area low where we do have some liquidity that's resting down there for just a range trade. Short near the highs of the range, long near the lows of the range. With proper confirmation, of course. All right, now, and then the other support that we have is we do have that fresh daily down here still at 78,544 on Coinbase, and we do have a liquidity grab, some liquidity down into that daily support level down there. It's also our 786 Fibonacci pull. If we do our Fibonacci pull from the 76.6 lows up to our current highs on this little grind to the upside here, we go ahead and turn on our 786. You can see the 786 is at the bottom of that box, this green box here, and we could look for a bounce right around the daily. I could actually even take this and we could shorten it up just a little bit, because with the SFP you want to wick a little bit past this level, so we could start this box maybe like around this area to look for our daily 786 that is in close confluence. Other than that, not too much going on with Bitcoin, guys. It's just continuing to grind here slowly and surely to the upside. Yes, we probably can make it a little bit higher, take the liquidity above these semi-equal highs here, and then we'll see what happens when we get to our golden pocket around 86.6 to 87.1. If we break that to the upside, I'm looking for the 88 to 88.6. Let's check out Market Cipher for any bullish or bearish divs here. Well, first of all, money flow on the 15-minute is starting to come out again. No bear divs, though, on this. And what that tells me is that we could maybe see a bounce from this local support area where it was our point of control. It's our local golden pocket. And you can also see it is that anchored VWAP that we are trying to reclaim again on the daily. Let's go to the hourly chart. Yes, so we are potentially setting up for some bear divs on the day on the hourly chart. We have not confirmed anything yet, but if we do make a higher high, we need to make a higher high in order to confirm the divs. But if we make a higher high into that golden pocket and that channel midline, we would be seeing higher highs on the price action, and maybe this does something like this, where we would be seeing lower highs on the momentum waves, with our money flow overall kind of draining from Bitcoin on the hourly chart as we develop those bear divs into the channel midline. Let's go to our 4-hour chart. Okay, so 4-hour money flow does actually look pretty good here, and the bounce from this bottom here, it was a local golden pocket area, bounce from the bottom, and we are reclaiming the anchored VWAP. Today's close is going to actually be pretty important to see if we can actually close above this anchored VWAP, but we are seeing mixed signals on the charts, and that's what you expect in kind of this side slow grindy price action to the upside. Overall, though, daily is still looking, I would say, more bearish than bullish. Yes, we do have the bull divs down there that could give us a bit of a relief bounce, but I don't think so far what we're seeing is not very strong. Okay, let's go into our Model 2 heat map and let's look at more local liquidity. Come on here. We'll check out our CVD while we're waiting for that to load up. All right, let's load this up as well. Make sure it's all fresh. Very locally, we are seeing some potential bullish CVD come in here. If we look at from this last low here yesterday, the lows from yesterday, you can see so far our price action is making higher lows on the chart. Our CVD from this pivot down here is overall making lower lows, and our open interest from this pivot here is rising to the upside. So local bull divs, we kind of expect to see local bull divs, knowing that we have a higher probability to come take out these highs up here and continue a little bit higher. And then also let's zoom out onto the 15-minute chart and let's look at our 15-minute divs here. All right, so from our 76.6K lows down here on the 10th, March 10th, that we made March 10th here, you can see overall we're making higher lows on the price action. From this area, our CVD is grinding to the downside here, and our open interest, now I don't like particularly the way the open interest had this push down here over the weekend, but overall the trend is pushing to the upside here. So it does look like we are developing some larger time frame bullish div as well as our local bullish div here. And that could give us that hint, that bias that we are going to continue creeping to the upside. If we come down to the VWAP area, to our point of control area in the bottom of the channel, maybe we expect to see a bounce there to continue higher. What I'd be looking for if we do get down there, let's go on to like the 6-minute chart here. And if we do get down here, obviously we're not going to have enough time to build bull divs on Market Cipher B on any significant higher time frame. But if we look on like the 5-minute, the 3-minute and under, as we're making lower lows into the bottom of the channel, we want to see Market Cipher be making higher lows here on the momentum waves. And I would also prefer to see that money flow starting to curve up into the green again, into our local support level, and then see another push to the upside here. Let's check out this heat map now. What is going on here? Maybe the website's down right now. I don't know what's going on here, but we cannot look at our local liquidity. It's not reloading. We do have that liquidity, though. 2 liquidity clusters just above us, and that's also going to act as a magnet to kind of bring us up. So with that in mind, I would expect this slow grind to the upside to continue. What we also can watch for today at the daily close that's coming up here in just 15 minutes here is if we can get above this value area high and close the candle above this value area high, that would be a bullish sign that we could expect some continuation up to our larger resistances just above us here. It looks like, I mean, we're running out of time here. It looks like we're going to close right around that area of the value area high. And so we'll just monitor the reaction. We know to look for, when we're doing range trading, to look for shorts near the value area high, as well as look for the longs near the value area low. One thing I didn't mention is the value area low of this range is also coming in right around that naked daily point of control and that new weekly level down here between 80.5 and 80.7. So more confluence if we do roll over, break this channel to the downside. This would be an area where we could expect another bounce to continue this range trading. That is about it for Bitcoin. Not much more to look at on Bitcoin here. We can go to our bearish pitchfork chart, and we'll look at this bearish pitchfork that was pulled from the all-time highs. And the low earlier today that I just was talking about at the bottom of the ascending channel was also support of this bearish pitchfork midline. few days ago when we were up in this area, I did make a video saying we might reject from this area and come down, and there was one or two possibilities. We could have created a higher low to continue this slow relief rally to the upside, or we could have come taking the lows at 76.6. Well, obviously we found support, local support. We did find it, and we over on Friday we broke this pitchfork midline to the upside, and overall we have been back testing it and holding it as support. Now what used to be resistance is now being flipped to support, and that is somewhat of a bullish sign for us to continue up to our larger resistance areas above us. So the next big resistance in this bearish pitchfork is this upper band of the pitchfork, and you can see it is in our box of resistance up here where we do have that bigger golden pocket. We have the naked daily point of control, and the pitchfork band is up here as well. And if we look at our Fibonacci pull of just this push down here, and we go to that golden pocket, depending on time, how long it takes us and how long we're going to grind around in this this volume profile that we're at now, this more sideways range, you can see that our golden pocket might be aligning with the bottom of that pitchfork band in pretty nice confluence here. And we do know that prior point of control, range point of control of this prior range here is in that general area. Now it's a little bit nicer on Coinbase. On Coinbase, it's up actually within the golden pocket. Okay, that's it for Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum here. Ethereum, same thing. We're just still kind of range trading here. Not much has happened today. We've just made a move up. We are breaking the value area high, so in some ways you could say that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and delete this. So yesterday I talked about that liquidity grab here into the value area high. You can see we did get that liquidity grab, and then we made a move back down to our point of control. The point of control did hold the support, and now we are making a higher high here. So if you did take that, that would have been good for a TP1 there. That was very local trading, just range trading here. And right now we are breaking the value area high to the upside, and we are in the process of backtesting it to see if it's going to be flipped to support. If it is flipped to support, we can continue to work our way up higher, maybe to the top of this channel here, where we do have the semi-equal highs of this range around the top of the channel. And we have, this high here, which is very semi-equal. We are front running that liquidity grab though, and it does give us a higher probability that we won't grab the liquidity here and then see the reversal, that maybe we could come a little bit higher. Let's zoom out a bit here onto the 4-hour chart. And yeah, overall, we're just still continuing this steep channel to the downside. We are starting to find support and starting to range in that bigger green box that I've had marked out. Now I deleted it because we've already hit into it, but I did say in the last week that we could expect to find a range within that box, with it being a kind of bigger support area where we could see a range and then maybe a relief rally to the upside. So what I would be looking at on our 4-hour chart, there's a couple things we could look at here. This was the A, B, C to the downside here. We can do the same sort of Fibonacci pulls from the highs of the B wave to the lows of the C wave. And you can see that we have our golden pocket in this purple box here. Now this would be breaking the channel to the upside just because this is such a steep channel. You really can't continue this trend unless the price action is acting really bearishly. And so I expect to break this relatively soon here. If we do see a rejection from the top of the channel, because let's look, why would we see a rejection from the top of the channel? Well, what used to be our support levels in this general area, you could see this was support, 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 might now be flipped to resistance, and we might just roll over and continue down. If we do reject from this area around $2,000, which was also a psychological support level, now we're losing it and we're kind of chopping around and forming this range underneath it. If we do come up to the $2,000 area and reject that, then you can see this very steep channel. The midline would be aligning with the liquidity grab of the lows that we saw on March 10th, around 1750. But our bigger support is still below us between $1,600 and $1,500. The next golden pocket pull we can look at is this golden pocket pull from the highs of the channel to the lows of the channel. We do have this golden pocket up here. And then, of course, we do have another golden pocket pull from the second pivot of the channel here into our value area high. Now, channel midline, that's from a different channel. Let's actually look at that. Not that one. Okay, I do want to talk about this channel, though, as well. So let's zoom in on the chart. And just like Bitcoin, we are kind of grinding sideways in this ascending channel here. Let me make this a different color so you guys can see the difference. And you can see the midline of that channel is coming in around the highs here. Around the highs and around the top of the bigger descending channel. Yeah, so we're just grinding sideways. No bear divs on the charts yet, because we have not made a higher high from this area here or this area here. Money flow doesn't look the best, though. You can see money flow kind of topped out in this general area here, and now we have been losing our money flow to the downside. Just looks really corrective. And also, if we turn on our volume here, you can see the volume in this sideways grind, slight ascending grind to the upside. Volume is continually getting lower and lower and lower. That gives us a bias that this is more of corrective price action here before continuing the overall trend to the downside. Now, that doesn't mean we can't come a little bit higher before doing that. We could even work our way up to the top of the ascending channel to hit our golden pocket here, and yes, channel top, which is this channel. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out. We can look at our naked daily points of control, naked weekly points of control. Let's change this to the weekly. Okay, so we do have a new naked weekly point of control up in around 2180, 2181 here. And that was also near that golden pocket pull of that intermediate golden pocket from the second pivot of this descending channel. So let's look at that. No, not quite. Let's see, was it? Okay. 786 is around there. That could be an area to watch. Let's check out our dailies and see if we have any confluence with naked daily points of control. Yeah, nothing in this whole area. Just the guy way up here. We do have the point of control of this small range that was kind of when we were kind of going sideways before ultimately losing it to the downside, is in that general area where the naked weekly point of control and the 786 is. But I like this area up here just a little bit better because it is our bigger golden pocket up here. You can see it's the value area high of that small range, and it's our channel midline of a different channel. Let's look here. This channel here. And if we zoom out, we'll look at this channel. This is that bigger descending channel that we've been in from the 4,100 highs. You can see how nicely it has been respected. The midlines bounced us a couple times. We were kind of chopping around the midline here, trying to hold it. But then when we lost it, we flipped it to resistance. And we are grinding around the bottom of that channel now. So if we do work our way up to this area, channel midline is in confluence with our bigger golden pocket pull. I would say that Ethereum does look kind of bearish too. You could even look at this as that sort of bear flag that is forming on the charts now. I'm not going to be trading this as a bear flag, but we do need to keep in mind that we are starting to develop that pattern here, and we do have volume confirmation as well. So in the flag, as the pole is forming, you want to see a big spike and increase in volume, which we did see, and then as the flag is forming, you want to see that decreasing volume as the flag is forming. And so we are seeing volume confirmation on this being a possible bear flag. Now, if you really wanted to look at that as a bear flag and trade it as a bear flag, get rid of this guy. If you wanted to look at that as a bear flag and trade it as a bear flag, you could do your measured move. Here, let's check this out. And also it depends on how high we go in this flag here. But we could say right now, look at where our target would be. Is at our much bigger, much more important support level. So just some added confluence that we might continue the overall trend to the downside. That doesn't mean we can't come up into this area as well, because we obviously have a fair value gap in this candle that could be filled, that imbalance up into this candle as well. Let's go ahead. Fair value gaps in this area. Yeah, so that's about it on Ethereum. Just this slow grinding sideways range that's forming. And we can just look to trade the range until it breaks. We are breaking that value area high and back testing it right now. If we can hold above it, we can expect to see a move a little bit higher here. At least to take the liquidity of the highs of this range, which is just above us. Yeah, primarily I'd be looking for a move a little bit higher to kind of back test these prior lows that now might be flipped. They were acting as, this was a support level. Now this might be flipped into a resistance area, which is also the near the top of our very, very steep descending channel. Okay, let's go on to Solana. Okay, Solana is seeing that little bit of a rejection here from this area that we were looking at, the swing failure pattern into the golden pocket. Actually, this is fresh. I'm sorry. I got to look at the other chart because we did have a little rejection from that area. But we still have this resistance above us as well. Between 141 and 144, that's our big resistance that I'm really watching here on Solana. And the reason why is this volume profile pull that you can see here. This is the value area low. And this value area low here is, we're holding it. Now we were losing it to the downside. And then we were able to finally break it on Friday, break back up into the value area. We came back down over the weekend, back tested that value area low. And now we are continuing to just kind of grind up here. If we don't lose this value area low again, I do think we could see a move up to this point of control here. That point of control, if we also do our Fibonacci pull from the highs to the lows, you can see our 786 is in that area. We do have our big red pitchfork midline, which this pitchfork midline was acting as a support through all of this range here. Overall, you can see was acting as a support. So now do we make our way up here, confirm it to a resistance, and roll over and come down to our bigger support level that we're looking at? We did front run that ABC correction target. If we look at that again, let's take our trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs up here. This was being our A wave, our B wave here, and our C wave. We were looking to end around 111. We did front run that just barely. And we do have some key liquidity that is resting down at 110. Down in this area here. So I think that it is possible for Solana to make one more low into this bigger pitchfork band of support between our 1-to-1, our 1-2-3-6 area. Once again, though, that doesn't work so well as an ABC correction. Then maybe in that scenario, we could be looking at that as sort of an impulse down. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming into our bigger area of support. And then maybe starting to form a range here for a bit and make a move to the upside. We also have to remember that $100 level is a key psychological support for Solana. So the SFP down into this area is definitely an area I'm interested in looking at. Now, locally, we do have some supports before that. Let's go ahead and zoom back in onto that hourly chart. And we can just do that range pull. Take our volume profile. We'll pull our sideways range that we're seeing here. You can see the value area low of that range is in this box here. Let's see. And I do believe that is where our golden pocket is as well. Let's grab this. Let's turn on the golden pocket. Yeah, golden pocket value area low is coming in right in this area here, around 120 to 121.5. We could see a bounce from this area to just continue this to form more of a sideways range around our larger value area low. I would be concerned, though, if we start losing this value area low again, there is a possibility that we could just bust through all this local support that we have below us and really come down to take the liquidity of our lows from March 10th, but also our lows, our 110 lows down there from our prior range lows. This volume profile is over about a year of price action. We can zoom out on the chart and we can look at that, because I do think this volume profile is really important, what we're looking at right now. And we are at the bottom of this volume profile, but we're struggling down here at the bottom. So we had that huge impulse to the upside. And since March of 2024, we've kind of been grinding sideways in this range. The market is trying to find the fair value of Solana between $100, I'd say, $100 to $290, $250 really. Up near these highs, $260. And we are towards the lows of that fair value on the daily time frame. I do not like the way money flow looks on the daily time frame. It is coming out aggressively still, very, very aggressively coming out on the charts. You can also see our momentum wave is looking like it kind of wants to start to curl over here. Now, yes, as well as on Bitcoin, we did see the bull divs, lower lows, higher lows here, and that could give us a little bit of a relief bounce up to the point of control, or to just form more of a sideways range that lasts a couple weeks around this area here. Let's get rid of these. Sideways range in this general area here near our value area low. But I don't think that the market makers are going to get so close to this liquidity and leave that intact. It just, as far as market psychology, it doesn't make sense to me. I think that we could come down one more time to grab that liquidity and then see the real recovery, a real bounce on Solana. Yeah, so that's about it for Solana. I mean, we can check. Let's go in here. Let's go onto our weekly chart and we can check to see. So no new weekly levels on Solana. Daily levels. We do have that daily level that's down just below us. And we can mark that out. Right there, about 126.13. Have a daily level there. And then we do have that daily level that's down. We have a couple daily levels down here. We have a daily level down here at 118, and then we have a daily level around 123. I'm going to mark this one out here because we have a naked daily point of control right next to it. There. Okay. So, and then of course we have a daily level above us as well. Let's go back onto our hourly chart. I just want to check this naked daily point of control to make sure. Okay, we do not have a naked daily point of control down here. We do have a daily level, though, that... Actually, let me double check that because... Oh, yeah, okay. We just closed the daily... we just closed the market 5 minutes ago. So this daily level right here just confirmed 5 minutes ago. So if we do end up making our way down to this area, you can see it's where our value area low is, our daily and our value area low. If we are going to continue to hold the bigger value area low of our year-long range and see multiple bounces from it, trying to hold it and flip it back into support, then this daily around 126 to our value area low around 125.81 is going to be an area of support that we would be interested in looking at a support level. But you guys, once again, like this, all of this looks so corrective. Like we saw this, three-wave correction down here, and then what are we seeing now? A three-wave correction to the upside, and now we're starting to dump again. So did we see a three-wave correction down, another three-wave correction, and now we are just going to continue this trend down? Everything to me on the charts right now is looking a little bit more corrective and a little bit more bearish. Look at the money flow down here on the hourly chart. Money flow has now, since these highs up here, money flow has been coming out pretty aggressively. We were also seeing hourly bear divs up here. You can see higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum wave here. Money flow was topping out, and since then, our money flow is continually dumping to the downside here. So we might see this value area low break and continue down lower. So yeah, targets I'm looking for to the upside. We have the swing failure pattern of these highs into our golden pocket that still hasn't been hit yet, up right above us. And I am talking about this liquidity grab here into our golden pocket. This golden pocket was just barely front ran here. So it has not been tapped. You can see here we did not tap it. We front ran it. In some ways that does make it more bullish that the next time we come up into this resistance box that we do not actually reject from this area, because we got so close and we front ran that golden pocket. If we are going to chop around back down here for a bit and make another try, we could break straight through this box and come up to our much stronger box of resistance above us, which this is really ultimately where I am looking for a possible correction on Solana. Like if this is going to be a bigger, just kind of ascending channel into this area, and then we roll, and then we could dump down. That is where I'm looking for the bigger resistance to come in here on the charts. Okay, so we do have the naked daily point of control up there. We have a naked weekly point of control up there. We have the point of control of our year-long range up there. And we do have our 786 Fibonacci pull up there as well. Fibonacci pull from this high to the lows. You can see our Fibonacci pull is real close by. And our pitchfork midline here in red of our pitchfork. A lot of confluence up there for resistance. So I guess I would say that this fresh daily that just confirmed 9 minutes ago is near our value area low. Very, very locally, if we're just going to continue this very slow, low volume range here, it could hold us. But overall, I'm not too interested in that area. I'm not even too interested in this daily here. Let's do a Fibonacci pull here. Okay, we've already hit into that golden pocket though, so yeah, I like this box down here much better than this daily above us at 123. And one of the reasons why I like that box better is because we do have the liquidity grab of this second pivot here, this low here, this higher low, into our golden pocket down in this area. Our 786 is in the box below that, and we do have another liquidity grab into that box. So 2 local supports there. Okay, that's it for Solana. Let's now go to XRP. Okay, XRP is just continuing its slow grind as well. Just this very, very slow, volatile, not volatile, stagnant grind to the upside. This, to me, does look a bit of a ascending channel-ish. Let's go here. One, two, three, 5. So maybe this was a little micro impulse down. Now we are seeing the corrective push to the upside before one more impulse down into possibly this naked weekly point of control or the value area low in confluence with our channel midline. I do like that a little bit better. Yeah, not too much to update from yesterday. Really, we've just been chopping very locally in this ascending price action here. Does not look very bullish at all to me. And I do probably expect a move down. Let's go ahead and look at our golden pocket pull from the lows on March 10th to our highs on Friday. I do like that 786 right on top of that fresh daily level at 202. But a golden pocket here around the weekly. We do have some liquidity, some internal liquidity of these lows here that are resting into that. And then if we look at this same pull and we look at the 0.5, it is around the value area low and the descending channel midline. Let's check this out as an ABC. Okay, so our 1-to-1 is in this area as well. This is a bit tough here because we do have, if this is going to be like this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an extended fifth wave, it still works because your third wave just can't be your shortest here. So if this was a like micro impulse to the downside and we're seeing a bigger correction here, and then we're about to start another 5-wave impulse to the downside in a smaller ABC after this push up here, then what we want to be looking for is our 1-to-1 correction target to our 1236. Now you can see the 1-to-1 is in perfect confluence with the value area low, the descending channel midline, and our 0.5, which is a common target for a correction to end, the correction of this push up here. And we do have the 1.236 though near our weekly, and it's also within our golden pocket. So a little bit confusing here on which one you would like to choose to look at support. What I would be doing is just watching both of them. If we come down to this area and it looks like we're starting to bounce here, maybe you could long, once you see the bounce starting, put your stop below that low. If we do make a lower high and continue to roll down to here, get stopped out, try to re-enter again here. And then if we start breaking that to the downside, that 786 into the daily is the only thing I would really be interested in below us at 202. Now the value area low that I'm talking about in this box is the value area low of the much bigger range. So you can see after our flash crash, we've kind of been going sideways. That's the range that I just had on the chart right now. But if we take it all the way up to the entire price action within our descending channel, that bigger value area low, which is a higher time frame volume support level, does carry a little bit more weight, is right around that weekly and that golden pocket. And I do think that that gives this a little bit more credence than this 0.5 into the descending channel midline here. And of course, it is the value area low of the smaller range. So some pretty good levels below us to look for a bounce. I think that XRP, this push to the upside has been a lot stronger than Bitcoin, definitely a lot stronger than Ethereum and a lot of these altcoins. So, but overall, we are still rejecting from this point of control area here. And maybe we make our way down to the value area low again. Try to back test the value area low. Since breaking into it, we did have a small back test right here, but we haven't had a higher time frame back test. We lost the value area low. We were able to reclaim the value area low and have a low time frame back test, but we have not come back for a higher time frame back test to see if we want to continue to work our way up to higher levels. You know, value area high, this area here maybe. Yep, so that's kind of what we're looking at on XRP. Nothing too much has changed here on XRP either. Yeah, so I was looking at this 1-to-1 to the 1-2-3-6 of this being a bigger ABC correction to the downside, with all of this being a wave A, seeing a flat and a B here, or not, you took these highs, but a B wave, and then are we going to see a C wave all the way down to the bottom of the channel around our 1-to-1 target, and then see another push to the upside. But we have levels before that ahead of time. So we play it level to level, see how this plays out. We are still just ranging in this upper range up here. And until we start to lose it and close high time frame candles below this value area low, I would expect us to continue to range in this general area. We can actually go ahead and zoom out onto the daily chart, and let's look at our market cipher B here. Ooh, yeah, doesn't look good, guys. Like, look at that money flow coming out here. We do have the local bull divs on the daily between these two lows here, but we don't have regional bull divs just because this was so low. In order to see like nice bull divs here, we'd really want to take out this low. I know some of you aren't fans of retail patterns, but let me just say, a head and shoulders is a topping reversal pattern, and left shoulder, head, broke market structure here bearishly. So now that we broke market structure bearishly, you can expect a lower high to come in, forming a right shoulder. Do we see this break down and come down much lower? Something to pay attention to with this. Let's check our weekly to see how that looks. Okay, I mean, so our weekly actually doesn't look so bad. We are not seeing bear divs on the weekly like we are with Bitcoin and some of the other altcoins, because this momentum wave was just so big, so heavy to the upside. I guess you could say that these are bear divs between this high here and this high here. You can see some would classify this as the same momentum wave, but we did have that little bit of a hump in here. But look at our money flow overall on the weekly. Still looks like it wants to keep coming. So very mixed signals. Maybe the daily is telling us we can move down to the bottom of the channel again. Maybe to this 1-to-1 target down here at 155. But overall, continue the trend on XRP to the upside. Two-hour charts. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for XRP. Not much else new going on here. If we do break this point of control to the upside, we do have this anchored VWAP from the all-time high. We have a golden pocket up here. We have a naked daily point of control. We have a daily level, the value area high, and we do have the swing failure pattern up there of these highs. Now, the value area high I'm talking about is not of this bigger range. It's of the smaller range after our flash crash. Oh, I guess, never mind. Maybe it... Okay, so let's go ahead and take this box and move it up just a little bit more. Let's double check that golden pocket. Yeah, that golden pocket is coming in at that box of resistance there. So I would say this is more of a macro resistance area, because we do have some liquidity resting here as well into a golden pocket, into a value area high with the anchored VWAP here. A lot of confluence up here. Let's turn on our naked daily points of controls, and we can look here locally at our naked dailies. We do have the naked daily that's still up here. I guess that was already there. Now, this naked daily is interesting because it is just above these highs, so we could see the liquidity grab into this one at 249. Naked daily point of control down in this box here. Let's check our naked weeklies out. Yeah, okay, so the naked weekly... What I did just recently today, you guys, I wanted some more information within these volume profiles here. Like, these are weekly volume profiles. So I just changed my row size a bit, and that's why this naked weekly that I marked out yesterday has shifted up a little bit, because we have some more volume in here, and it's taking smaller increments within this weekly range. And so it's giving us a tighter area, because I was looking at ATAS and EXO, and they were a little bit off. So I just changed those settings there, and I'm gonna test this out, see how this is. Let's check to see if our daily candle closed green. Yeah, it did. So we do have a new daily support. Just right down here at 229.32. I don't know if I would be paying too much attention to that. Let's go. Okay, if this... To me, if this breaks to the downside, I really do think that we're not going to stop here. We're going to continue coming down to at least that channel midline. But we can look locally at our very local range. So golden pocket, we do have the SFPs of these two lows into that golden pocket. Actually, this low took that low, so it would just be liquidity from here. But 786. 786 is around that brand new daily that confirmed 24 minutes ago. So very, very locally. Around 229, we do have some support. But once again, I would be cautious of looking for a bounce from here, because this could be the bigger ABC correction to the downside, where we roll down to our 1-to-1 target, which was near our value area low and channel midline, and our 1236 was in this area. Okay, so that is it for XRP. Now let's go to Chainlink. Let's zoom out onto the 4-hour chart. Chainlink is still just chopping around underneath our bigger daily channel that we lost, or our bigger descending channel on the daily that we've lost. Now, it looks like we came up to that daily level that was just above us from yesterday here, and we are starting to find some resistance at that daily level. We delete this locally. Did we actually hit that? Looks like we hit that daily with this one, so I'm not going to put that on the chart. But we do have this new daily here now that just confirmed at 1337. I'm going to get rid of this guy now. So we are in the process. Today, this was a fresh daily level marked out. I marked that out yesterday on the chart. We broke above it today, and we're in the process of back testing it right now. So if we can hold this daily at $14, we could probably see a move a little bit higher here. What I'd be watching here locally on Chainlink is just this sideways range that we're in here. And you can see, just like with Bitcoin, we're finding some trouble at that range value area high. The value area low is aligning very, very nicely at $13 with that daily level down there. I mean, to me, this push up that we saw today looks pretty three-wave corrective structure-ish too. Push up to the value area high. Are we going to see that rejection? Point of control is right around the area where we're at. So we're fighting between the point of control and that daily that's literally just below us. But if we do start to lose that, I would probably expect to move down to the value area low. Yes, we do have that daily in between here. We can do our Fibonacci pull on that. Yeah, I mean, it's below the 786 even, so it's probably closer to the 886. So even if we do bounce from this daily in the 886 area, that would still mean we have a higher probability to eventually come take these lows here. Make a move down to $13. Let's go ahead and do our bigger Fibonacci pull from the lows that we saw on March 10th to our highs that we saw on Friday. Golden pocket. Okay, golden pocket is just below that value area low and the daily, but I would say this general area could be an area where you are looking for some support to come in. Yes, and then of course the SFP into the 786 down here. That's another area. All right, to the upside, if we just do this Fibonacci pull, you can see that our golden pocket is in here. We also have a naked daily point of control in this area. I'm going to check that, though, to see if the settings had a change on that. Ooh. Wow, so it actually... I'm sorry, that's the weekly. Come on, load up. There we go. Okay, yeah, naked daily point of control still at our golden pocket area, around 15.4. So that's the area I would be looking for if we continue to kind of grind up slowly in this price action. We could see a rejection from this area, or at least a small pullback. Now, if we do make it up into that area, though, let's go ahead and turn this off now. We know where our box is at. If we do grind up into this area and we hit into this area and see a rejection, we might come down to the bottom of this bigger descending daily channel and now hold it as support and continue to trade within that descending channel. It would also be around our prior highs here that would now be flipped to support. Prior highs being flipped to support, value area high of that range being flipped to support in that general area, and then we might continue to push to the upside. But I'll just keep going back to this. Like, everything looks pretty bearish as far as our volume goes. I mean, Link, though, this looks a lot nicer than Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other coins that we're seeing. That big spike in green to the upside does look nice. I'll go back to what I said yesterday, though. Sometimes when you have an ABC correction, the C wave ends with a massive spike in volume. And so we do need to be concerned that but that was really in this area here. Yeah, let's just keep an eye out on this range that we're in now. Looks like we are rejecting from the value area high, and we're starting to lose that daily and the point of control here. So do we work our way down to the value area low at $13? That's where I'd be interested in starting to look for longs if we have proper confirmation. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I mean, this could all be part of a bigger complex correction too. 1, 2, 3. 3-wave move down, then followed by a 3-wave move up. Now do we start to see another 3-wave move down here in a more complex correction here before finding support at the value area low and continuing this range? We do have to remember a lot of these altcoins are beat down and at some pretty big support levels overall on the daily charts. So it is possible to be starting to form a higher time frame range of like a month or more around these support levels. Now, the ultimate support levels for a lot of these coins, like for Ethereum at 16 to 1500, is a bit lower, and Chainlink around $10 is a bit lower. But it's been a pretty tough drop to the downside in the last month or so. So we could see relief come in for a bit. Let's actually zoom out onto our daily chart and let's look at the daily here. Money flows coming out very similar looking to Bitcoin here. And yes, we're seeing the local bull divs just like Bitcoin as well. But this box down here is really the big box. I do like the value area high of this little accumulation range before this expansion. So that's why we have a box there as well, because that is that value area high back test down in this area. Let's look at our 786 now. We do have to change that to log scale because that is more than 100% move there. Yeah, and then the 786 is even lower than that. It's actually more near our point of control. And at that point, we're really getting close to this area. Okay, so we know what we're looking at locally here on Chainlink. If we can start to find some bigger resistance be flipped into support, then we can look at some of these higher boxes up here. We do still have all this stuff marked out above us, but really our first order of business is this box between 15.4 and 15.6, and then we got one even above that at 16.2 to 16.34. All right, that is about it for Chainlink here. Now let's go to Cardano. Looks like we are going to have a fresh daily level right around the value area low of this small range, but we'll look at that in just a second here. So Cardano, very similar to Bitcoin, very similar to a lot of these alts, forming a range here after bottoming out on March 10th. And we are still just chopping sideways in this range. It doesn't look near as bullish as like Chainlink or XRP. Even Solana looks a little bit more bullish than this, but we do have our local resistance above us that we still haven't hit into. We have a naked daily point of control, the 786, a daily level, and the value area high, all coming in between 74.26 and 75 cents, I will say, or 7496. Depending on how long it takes us to get up there, our channel midline could also be in that area. Now, wow, did we front run that naked weekly point of control? Let's look at that. Yeah, naked weekly point of control was front ran today on that little push up that we saw today. So it is still valid in that area. Okay, yep. We do have this naked daily point of control down here near 70 cents. And we do have a liquidity grab into that naked daily point of control. It is a little bit below our value area low, though. Actually, what we could do is with this range, you could really pull this to this area here. And that is much nicer. Okay, so naked daily point of control coming in right at the value area low here. We just were looking at that. And if we do our Fibonacci pull, let's see, that's 7299, 7302. Okay, a little bit higher there. So 786, naked daily point of control, value area low, all here. Let's turn that naked daily right back on for a second. See, you can see right there. So I would mark a local box of support in this area. If we're going to continue to just range trade, look for longs around the bottom of the range. That is the bottom of the range. We have the SFP into that too. Did I mark that? I don't think I did. And then near the top of our range, we have our resistance box. So I'd be looking to trade the range until it breaks. If we break that to the downside, we have our bigger 786 into our daily down at 67 cents. And that golden that 786 is from the lows from March 10th to our kind of range highs in here. You can see that 786 is coming in right there. And honestly, we could make that even tighter. But our bigger support is still just below us. And remember, we front ran that. We front ran this low here just barely. And so this bigger box of support down below us is our correction target. I don't like it being a correction so much anymore with this, week of sideways. But it's the bigger value area low. It's a swing failure pattern. Now a double swing failure pattern. Liquidity here, liquidity here. Naked daily point of control, and an 886. And the value area, yeah, okay, we already had that marked out. Value area low. Really struggling around this point of control here. Just chopping around the point of control, which is considered fair value for this range. So you really don't have too much of an edge where we're at right now on the price of Cardano trying to trade this. You would either want to wait for this local support box down here where we have our smaller range value area low, and this box up here where we have our smaller range value area high. Just be careful if you're trading, like doing more scalp and micro trades on these coins, because if Bitcoin really starts to make a move, then these coins are not going to hold these local levels, and it's going to bust through. Like if Bitcoin starts really dumping, it will dump through these so fast, it won't even probably have a reaction very much, maybe on a 5-minute candle. Overall, though, Cardano looking pretty bearish too. We're still just trading in this descending channel here. We did see that move, that fake out to the upside, break out of it here, broke back down to the midline, back tested the midline, held it, broke back up to back test the channel, rejected, and now do we make our way back down to the bottom of the channel? We are just forming this corrective price action underneath the midline. Yeah, we got these lows here and also these lows here as well. I do like these lows actually from this area here, because depending on how long it takes, we could be coming into the bottom of the channel, grabbing that liquidity from these lows, overall holding the channel on the daily and seeing a bigger push up. That is at, what is that? 50, pretty much 58 cents, 57.94. And if we start to break these two lows, then our golden pocket down here around 50 cents is our prior range value area high into our golden pocket. 50 cents would be an area, a more swing support area for Cardano. All right, guys, that's it for Cardano. Not too much more. I mean, actually, let's look on our weeklies. No new weeklies yet. Let's go on to our dailies. Yeah, just the two that we had marked out. Okay, so we do have some naked daily points of control. Let's see if those are marked out. I believe we had, yeah, this one's marked out here. And this guy here, naked daily and naked weekly, were pretty much right on top of each other. So I just marked the weekly one. But we do have this guy here, which is fresh. No, it's not. Excuse me. It was already labeled in there. Yeah, so both at the value area high and the value area low of this smaller range, we have naked daily points of controls as well. So I would really be interested in just trading this range until it breaks. Looks like some of these coins are starting to roll over. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Yeah, small rejection here from Bitcoin from the value area high. Let's see if this about 83.3 to 83.2 holds us. Money flow doesn't look the best here. Okay, one last one we got to do is a super. Okay, now I want to zoom out on Super because it's been quite a while since we've looked at Super, and we actually did have some really nice trades from Super. Last time I marked this box out, so let me go and delete this real quick. We had marked this from way over here. That's why it started. So the last time we were looking at Super, we were up in this area here. And we were looking at this bigger box of support. Well, you can see we did grind our way into that big box of support. We got the reaction we were looking for. A really nice reaction, actually. Came up to our resistance area, which was that point of control. We rejected from that resistance area. So both of those trades actually worked out very nicely. What we can do now is, well, let's see if we should save this one here. I'm going to delete this for now. And this, what used to be support, now you can see is kind of being flipped into resistance. But I'm going to delete that now. There. And it does look like we did try to make our way up to that descending channel midline here. And we just barely front ran it and just barely front ran that naked weekly point of control up there. I'll get rid of that too. Okay, so we do have the value area low. We bounce from our more macro value area low, just like Solana. And this value area low is from this is from December of 2023. So over a year long. Let's go on to the daily chart. You can see this kind of range that we've been in on Super right here. And we did bounce overall from that value area low. We are seeing a small relief bounce from the value area low. But once again, just like with Solana, we did front run that low. You know, for Solana, it's at 110. For Super, it's at 36,687. And we did front run it. So do we see another push down just to grab that liquidity into our daily support level in the bottom of the channel, and then see us reclaim this value area low and make a move back up to the point of control? We can now, let's go in on this since it's been a while. Let's go look on our weekly chart. Okay, so yeah, this weekly level here, you can see it did act as resistance once we lost it. We came down here, came back up, acted as resistance, and we are still below it. Market Cipher doesn't look the worst on the weekly, but once again, if we would have just came just a little bit lower to grab that liquidity and to make lower lows here, we could have had some lower lows on the price action and higher lows on the momentum waves, confirming weekly bull divs, but we didn't do that. We front ran it. So let's see if that can still happen. Weekly, we already have the weekly marked out up here at 72,448. Let's go to our daily. We've got this daily marked out up here around 59,696. That daily's been hit. Okay, so I would say we can mark out. Okay, that one. We just had a daily close about, 49 minutes ago. So we have a new daily here at 44.37. And let's go ahead and mark this guy out here, even though this is not perfect, but we'll mark that out, 41.49. Okay, now let's go into our hourly chart. Oof. And I would just look at this range from the lows that we created on March 10th. We're above that value area high, which is also the same level as the value area low of that big range since December of 2023. So as long as we can hold above this level at 45.22, we probably can work our way up a little bit higher here. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh. Golden Pocket is coming in around the daily. It's a little bit above the daily. Let's go ahead and check this Golden Pocket. Same thing. Okay, I actually think the 786 looks a little bit better with it being near the point of control of this really crappy volume profile. So from 46.4 down to like 42.6. That area could be a very local support area. 886 is probably pretty nice too. Yeah, at the value area low, 39 cents. Jaffiel, I know you're the one who asked about this, and I don't know if you're looking at more spot buys, like macro time frames on this. To me, I would really be looking for a little bit lower on this overall. Doesn't mean we can't continue to see a little bit of a relief rally, but I'd be watching this channel midline here, because if we keep rejecting from this general area of the channel midline, we do have a high probability to come down to SFP the lows at 36,687 into our daily at 35,690. I'd be really watching for that level to start to see a bottoming out. The only thing that makes me a little hesitant on that is we are getting above the value area low of that, 17-month range since December, 15-month range. And if we can backtest this very locally and hold it, we could probably work our way up to that naked weekly point of control. Yeah, naked weekly point of control is up there. Okay, this is interesting because this naked weekly point of control down here at 4067. Yeah, it's pretty close to our 786, which was, remember, our value area low was right down around this area as well. Or, I mean, point of control was right down there. So I think this area is a decently nice support area as far as more lower time frame micro trading goes. I like it better than the Golden Pocket and the daily above. Let's just say that. If we do start breaking this box and the channel midline to the upside, we probably are going to make our way up into this general area here, where we have our 786 daily and the value area high. Now, what value area high? Oh, okay. So that value area high is probably of this sideways range. Yeah. We were kind of starting to range in here, and then we broke it to the downside. Money flow doesn't look too bad here on the 4-hour time frame. Let's check our 1 hour. Yeah, it's not looking the worst. I mean, our money flow is coming out again, but we don't have bear divs here. Maybe we can hold this local break of the value area high, the bullish backtest of the value area high, and the bullish backtest of the bigger value area low of the 15-month range, and work our way a little higher. But once again, just like all these coins, Our daily money flow just does not look good. And you can even see here, there's not even really bull divs on Super here down at the lows. A lot of these coins have bull divs at the lows. Super does not. You can see here, lower lows in the momentum waves, lower lows here. So Super is not looking as hot as some of the other altcoins, the more blue chip altcoins that we've been looking at here. I'd just be careful on this one because we do have to remember this bigger golden pocket at like, what is this, 26.6 down to 23 cents. We could easily continue dropping down here to this area. Yeah, actually, I think that's a very good area to be looking because our prior highs of our last accumulation range, right in that general area. So prior highs, golden pocket. Yeah, I know it's got a brutal beatdown. Doesn't look too good. I mean, like, look at this. This looks like McDonald's. If you guys get that inside joke. Okay, that's it for Super. I'm gonna call it quits here, guys. Thank you. If you got anything out of this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And I'll keep them updates coming. Thank you for your support.